進します。総員構えてください。いいお酒かも。特別応援運命の戦いである熱を帯びなさい。マルミアドワーズ知らせそんなコツコツ覚悟いいね。あと4年ことじゃん。吹っ飛べ輝き見えはいらぬと申しても夏の暑さに喉カラカラ息吹の実は初めてのポーズ要注意接続覚悟いいね。下がっているように夏の女神が衆生に告げる踊りなさいが触りなさいが
Yeah, we're just farming seashells this morning. Well,
大終末大粛清を始め再始めしまう罪の都最後の竜は我がの縁集え円卓の守護者たちラウンド・オブ・アーマロン見えはいらぬと申しても夏の暑さに喉カラカラ息吹の実は初めてのポーズおしまいね。第2、第3ホール展開。アルトリアーバー熱を帯びなさい。運命をかけた戦いであればいいお酒種をあげる特別応援覚悟圧倒しますね。夏が来たりて鍵を揺れて雨が来たりて命が変わる息吹の御霊八脈五行熱を帯びなさい。マルミアドワーズ覚悟いいね。圧倒します。適当にやっとくわ。夏の女神が衆生に告げる踊りなさいが騒ぎなさいがそうなの？夏が来たりて鍵を揺れて雨が来たりて命が変わる息吹の御霊八脈五行待ってほしいわ。準備はいいかしら。愉快 しても夏の暑さに喉カラカラ。息吹の味方初めてのポーズ。運命をかけた戦いであればちゃんと見て圧倒します。夏の女神が衆生に告げる。踊りなさいだ、騒ぎなさいだ。覚悟いいね。適当にやっとくわ。ちゃんと見て。そう。夏が来たりてかぎろい揺れて、雨が来たりて命が変わる。息吹の御霊、八脈突破。わははざまあみろ。
Alright. Bond 5 for Uma.
準備はいいかしら。手を貸してカモン応援要請熱を帯びなさい。丸みアドワーズ。ちゃんと見ててね。できそうなの？夏の女神が衆生に告げる。踊りなさいだ、騒ぎなさいだ。早炊きです。軽めな。やめたい。さあ見えはいらぬと申しても夏の暑さに喉カラカラ。息吹の御霊、初めてのポーズ。知らせる混乱の時世。覚悟いいね。そう。夏の女神が衆生に告げる。踊りなさいだ、騒ぎなさいだ。よい、許す、眠れ。まだまだ未熟者ですが頑張ります。ゆっくりカモン特応援白熱いきます準備もちろん夏が来たりてかぎろい揺れて、雨が光りて命が変わる。息吹の御霊、八脈突破。そうなの？さあ
夏が来たりて限ろい揺れて雨が来たりて命が変わる息吹の御霊八脈怒涛
知らせ剣断の術覚悟そう適当にやっとくわ見えはいらぬと申しても夏の暑さに喉カラカラ息吹の御霊八脈怒涛勝ちましたじゃあそういうことでそそくさ
Nice. 5.
第2第3フォート展開アルテミラボサマータイム早炊きですカルメン早炊きですカルメン知らせ剣断の術イエス吹っ飛べダウン
夏が来たりて限ろい揺れて雨が来たりて命が変わる息吹の御霊八脈怒涛
両チームやりまーすゴーゴーパルデアファイさあ圧倒しますイエス輝きこちらです見えはいらぬと申しても夏の暑さに喉カラカラ息吹の御霊八脈怒涛よーし対終末対粛清防御始め違法な国時の間慣れた剣は彼の手霊殿に勝利を刻めラウンドマラ
夏が来たりて限ろい揺れて雨が来たりて命が変わる息吹の御霊八脈怒涛
グッ様見ててくれましたかグッ様勝ちましたうい
Alright. Just need one, and then we can move on. Yeah, sorry I'm not talking. Like, this is just mind-numbing. Like, doing this kind of farming, to me, is a little mind-numbing. Just because, like, just farming the map like this is just hard. Especially not with a boogie.
サーバントの皆さん
By 278 for Umu to get to Bond 6. 7 more.
やってやるぞやってやるぞ。
夏が来たりて鍵を揺れて、雨が来たりて命が変わる。息吹の御霊、走りゃくどこ。
やりまーす。下がっているように。指針無限行為自閉彼方出せ。これまでは不老不死の
夏が来たりて鍵を揺れて、雨が来たりて命が変わる。息吹の御霊、走りゃくどこ。
ここに下がっているように。夏の女神が衆生に告げる。踊りなさいだ、騒ぎなさいだ。当然とはいえ嬉しいものですね。皆さんのおかげです。
All right. So I could use the seashells on Umu now and just get her up to 8.
いや、
Yeah, like 54. Chat, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm this tired.
我な。 か物入りかな。マナプリズムと交換。まだ見ていく。レア物だね。任せて。これがいいかな、それともあれがいいかな。どれも貴重な品だ。たっぷり悩んでくれたまえ。
Okay, so unlike my alt account, no, my JP accounts, this account actually might be able to buy out these trial quests and immediately just start saving up for these. Yeah, actually let me do that, because it will clean this out. Ooh, okay. I'm 6 off. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm 6 off. Even though I'm pretty sure I already did that. I'll still buy that. Alright. Yeah, no, this more clearly tells me what I have, how many more rare prisms I need. I need 106, and then this shop is cleared out. That may sound like a lot, but the fact that I cleared it out on JP just kind of shows that like this is definitely possible, and they're gonna shove rare prisms down a lot of people's throats over the next 2 years. Okay.
アイテム交換だね。君に幸運がありますように。
One multi will melt, and that's it. Nice. Yep. All right.
Yeah. ながらいい調整だ。惚れ惚れしちゃう。次はもっといい仕事をするからね。じゃんじゃん私に頼ってくれたまえ。そろそろクエストに戻る？いらっしゃいマスターくん。カタログはこっちだよ。退屈がてらおすすめアイテムを紹介していい？アイテム交換だね。いいよ、そういうのも嫌いじゃないし。やあ、いらっしゃいだねマスターくん。地道にコツコツ。
Damn. No, 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 no. I was about to, but I saw that void dust. I'm like, no, I will wait till after Ku's done. Nope. What was I looking up? Oh, right. Ah, okay. Got it. That's what that patch was. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That spreadsheet was just like a hint for a Honkai video coming out. Hmm. All right. All right. So yeah, I don't have confirmation for when I am supposed to start. I assumed I was working out today. I might not be, in which case I'm probably ordering food or something like that. Okay. All right. That went down the wrong pipe. Um. Okay. All right, chat. We're gonna start recording now because my FGO stuff is like already done. I don't feel like playing like any longer today. Um, yeah. So when I come back, we'll start up with Persona. So, um, wait, why is Sushi Goes not here? She goes in. All right. Okay. Yep. Time to hit record again. All right. So, went to bed, played other games, enjoyed myself yesterday. Time to get back to the list. We are gonna do Shufu, Ushigozen, and then finish Avengers with the Count of Monte Cristo. And then we have Moon Cancers, and it's only gonna be a couple. So 3 Avengers, Moon Cancers, then we're done for this. So, and if I have to leave mid-recording, is what it is. I'll just start this back up when I come back later. So, Shufu Avenger. Right now, she is my insta-kill farmer. Just because I'm on my main account. Like, she needs to get to a certain bond level. I'm just going to use her for insta-kill farming. Her kit actually does work pretty damn well for it. If you're using the insta-kill CE, I believe having Shufu maxed out, you only need to get... I think it's like 10 or 20% gauge through cards, and then she can just insta-kill the final wave. So like getting 20% in 2 turns, not the hardest thing, but it does make it a little harder. Or it does rely on RNG. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. It relies on RNG, not that it's going to be harder. 420, nice. Base attack 9.6k. Decent number for a 4-star, although for an Avenger this actually is a little low. Like, this is the normal, if not above average for other characters, but for Avengers specifically, like, this actually is on the lower end. HP 11k on the dot. Star weight, or sorry, MP charge 0.43%. Yeah, this is a mixed bag because yes, these are 5 headers, and this is better than a couple of the other ones I saw yesterday. But this gain still isn't great if she's not going to crit on it. Like, that's the thing with, like, the 0.47 and... Ow, shit. Playing with something and I just stabbed myself. All right. Yeah, put that over there. Don't play with that. Shit, I completely just lost my... Oh, there we go. Now I remember. Okay, so 0.47 MP gain. I'm usually only okay with those, like, numbers like that if you're gonna crit. If you're not gonna crit, there's definitely a refund problem that's probably gonna be there. And because Shufu's an Avenger, refund problem's gonna be a thing. However, the best way to insta-kill farm is with Domin, so not having stars is usually not an issue except the first turn. And again, the way insta-kill farming works, if you need to take an extra turn to build up gauge, just do it. It's better than wasting a command seal, and all you have to do is wait a minute. Or you just bring a craft essence that gives you extra charge. You have to give up bond points, QP or something, but at least you can do it. Like, if speed is what you care about. 4 hits on quick, 5 hits on arts, 5 hits on buster, 5 hit extra attack. Buster card, if she wasn't an Avenger, she actually might gen some stars, but, like, don't expect a lot. Even though this is a lot of hits, do not expect a Buster card on an Avenger or a Berserker to really be genning a ton of stars, unless you have a star gen buff. First skill, 30% arts, 30% Buster, 30% battery. Simple, to the point, and just works. Second skill, 10% battery and 10 gauge per turn. So, this is another 60 for Shufu. And this is 30. And by this, I'm talking about how much charge she will have by the end of 3 turns. Like, so at the start of 3 turns, she has 60% gauge from her own kit. If you use the insta-kill Mystic Code, that's another 10. If you have mana loading, that's another 20. So off rip, without Shufu even doing carding, she has 90% gauge at the start of turn 3. So all you need to do is get 10% in 2 turns. Or you could just wait another turn, not pop her third skill, and just insta-kill on turn 4. And you will have 100% no matter what. As long as this is maxed out, as long as this is maxed out, as long as you have mana loading, you are guaranteed to MP at turn 4 if you're using the insta-kill Mysticode. I like, honestly, for the lazy part of me, like, that is more than enough. Like, I do not need every single insta-kill run to be like 3 turns every single time. I just don't want it going longer than like 6 turns if I have to, because I'm trying to like bond farm multiple characters. Yeah, so like for just insta-kill farming as a 4-star for a single target enemy, this ain't bad. Third skill, 120% insta-kill success rate up. This is the same thing I believe Summer Reese has. And wait, do they have the same actual insta-kill chance? That's really fun. That's really funny that they have the same insta-kill chance. Okay, so literally, there is no difference between the two, except that Shufu actually is better at insta-kill farming than Summer Reese. Off the simple fact that Shufu has better... Sorry. Shufu just has better skills for insta-kill farming. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Took a second. Shufu just has better skills for insta-kill farming. Summer Reese has better skills for actual damage. You could use both of it. You would not use Shufu in the place of Summer Reese, but you would use a Reese in the place of Summer Shufu. That is what I'm trying to say. I do think if you're not doing insta-kill farming, Shufu is definitely going to feel a lot worse. It's just that this kit feels really, really good to do like insta-kill farming with, from what I've noticed. So, sorry, I didn't even fully explain it though. 120% chance to insta-kill. So this pretty much guarantees that you're going to insta-kill. Shows here. Yeah, 176% for death rate 100%. All the way, like, pretty much 50%, that looks really good. And 80, okay, so to put this into perspective, 88% insta-kill death rate, that's the equivalent to what Nidochris has normally against, like, 100%. Like, her normal insta-kill chance is like 80% against in the same exact node. The fact that half of that is still viable for Shufu is like a good thing. And as you can see here, with that Mysticode, it bumps up to 108. So guaranteed chance. So Shufu is able to insta-kill up to 50% consistently. That, as an insta-kill farmer, is something I like to look at. Because you will always need QP in this game. You're never not going to need QP. And if you don't have anything to farm on Storm Pods, might as well just farm QP, right? Power mod against Poison, Curse, and Burn, all at 20% static. So you're only leveling this for the insta-kill success rate and MP damage. Passives, 19% MP gain when taking hits. 12% crit damage, high servant, but this does nothing right now. And of course, we're talking about Guchon, the #1 simp for... We're talking about Shufu, the #1 simp for Guchon. And just like the OG, if she has to fight Summer Concert Wu, she is weak. Her knees get... She just doesn't want to do it. It's like trying to watch Midoriya like seriously fight All Might outside of training. Like in that what was it? It was like their final exam arc. It was like Izuku and Bakugo versus All Might. Izuku was like shaking in his boots at the thought of he had to fight All Might. That is like literally Consort U in a nutshell. Like she will do it if she absolutely has to, but she does not want to do it at all. 20% attack down is not nothing as a passive. So, mana loading is a requirement. If you're just insta-kill farming, this does absolutely nothing. You don't need this. Besides trying to double stack this. Oh. That actually is really funny. That this is... Huh. I actually do want to kind of see what this looks like. Because this is a buster unit. So if you realistically really want to try ramping up the insta-kill chance, like, just for the memes... I don't know, like, see, like, a 20% chance actually proc? Yeah. So, 120%. So, hang on. So it'd be, what, 3.4? No. I think it actually would spike to like 50%. And then with this, it would probably jump up even higher. Yeah. So, yeah, if you want to do some, like, really crazy insta-kill stuff, like, you act, like, because Shufu is a buster unit, you might actually double stack this with Vich. Like, and this is, like, outside of just buster farming in general. Like, I mean, not outside of buster farming, this is just, like, buster farming in general. Shufu does have, like, they don't have an attack buff, but that's pretty much it. So, like, power mods that could be double stacked, MP damage that can be double stacked. Unfortunately, Shufu does not put on any DOT, but you can just put command seals on for that. Support, like, or use supports or whatever to really, like, actually get this started. Yeah, but if you use a Pen 5, you could double pop all their skills in turn 2. I know I mostly was talking about insta-kill farming, but this still isn't bad for, like, a sub DPS. It's just not great. Because of this part, you have to, like, keep in mind this part. Because you can't, like, unless you're running with characters that put a lot of DOT on, like, say, Rasputin, you're probably not taking advantage of all of this at once. MP, 9-hit single target. She wields a chainsaw and just goes Friday to 13 on her ass. 80% chance to insta-kill. If you actually insta-kill, party attack goes up 20% for 3 turns. I believe one of the Hassans had this as a skill, and now... No, that was a battery. If you insta-kill and succeeded, you got a battery. This is just an attack buff for the party. I mean, Shufu doesn't have an attack buff. They do have an attack buff, but she has to insta-kill for it. Again, though, her chance actually starts getting so high that she might not really have a problem. Yeah, hang on. Actually, I just want to look at the math for this real quick. Res down 50%. I forget if this part of it was additive or not. I think it is additive, like a minus 50%. Yeah. No, there's no way these multiply there's no way this and this multiply into each other. Otherwise, this would have been way higher. Like, this is an increase of 20%. Yeah. No, this is 20% increase from here to here using the Mystic Code. So there's no way this can possibly be multiplicative. It has to be additive. So... yeah, so I think you add it up and add a 1 in front of it, right? So, calculator. Yeah, just want to make sure I'm doing this math right. Okay, so... 2... 40 times 1.4 plus 1. So 2.4. No. 2.2. 2.2. Yeah, no, I'm tripping. So 40 times 2.2. All right, easy. Yeah. And then just to double check, 40 times 2.7. 108. Okay, awesome. So if you were to double stack, sorry for the brain fart on this. I'm like, I know how insta-kill works, not how like all the buffs for it work, because I don't really worry about that. Like, I'm dealing with insta-kills of 80%, not trying to deal with it down here. Okay, so to double check like what the insta-kill would look like, you would do 3 times 3.7, right? No, 3.9 times 3.9, because it's 1.2 plus 1.2 is 2.4, plus 0.5, 2.9, plus 1, 3.9. Okay, so 40 times 3.9, 156% there. So let's keep going to see what, like, where we actually stop. 16 times 3.9. Yep, 62% chance to insta kill when you start double stacking. That's a base 20% chance. You can get it up to a 64%. Okay, so that to me is a little wild, because insta-kill is probably one of the biggest memes in the game, and a lot of servants actually like have insta-kill res. Like, you, the player, doing insta-kill is different from the computer doing insta-kill. So the fact that you, the player, have a 62% chance to insta-kill from a base 20% chance, that sounds wild. It makes insta-kill sound way less of a meme. The fact that Shufu, if you actually do like some buster farming type stuff, or I'm thinking about it, like trying to fit Shufu into like buster farming is just like hard if you're doing pure insta-kill farming. But I don't know. I think that's a good utility. Like, you actually would use Vitch with her, unlike Summer Reese. Like, why would you be using Vitch with Summer Reese? Like, her skills are good, but it's not that hard to cap out on defense down. Once you hit 100% defense down, that's it. You hit the cap. Yeah, like at that point you start doing true damage. Super effective is man attribute. Yeah, so Shufu, really, I just really like her as an insta-kill farmer. And again, sorry that this one took like 18 minutes. Like, I'm trying to cut down on these, but damn. Yeah, purely as just an insta-kill farmer, I think she's fine. Damage wise, I don't have this pulled up right now. I'm assuming it's not terrible. Okay, Shufu base 41,000. Her base MP damage is almost on the level of Tyra with all of her buffs. Now, granted, this is Tyra anti-Genji, so even moving it up to like Lobo, like Lobo's buffed MP is lower than Shufu's MP2. So if Shufu ever got an MP buff, damn. She starts looking really good. Like, her numbers are in line with Tyra. Right? Yeah, like right now she's at the bottom, but if this is the bottom compared to like a lot of other characters too. Yes, she matches Summer Chloe, but no one. Chloe's damage matches Tyra. Like Tyra without Genji and Tyra without Vengeful, we don't really. It's definitely not the highest thing. But even in comparison, it's not like she's doing like 50% less damage. Like Edmund Dante's is still only doing about 25% higher. So literally getting the second copy brings you up. So yeah, MP buff, and she's eating really, really good. So I would definitely say I don't like just shoving characters into A, but like she does her job and she does it well. Like if all you care about is insta-kill farming, then she does it like some of the best in the game for a single target. Like Doman can't come anywhere close to this insta-kill chance. He's just good at clearing trash mobs that you can insta-kill. He's not really worried about trying to insta-kill people you aren't supposed to be insta-killing. Okay, so I'm only putting her in A because of what you can do with double Vitch. Because Vitch is so like prevalent, like I feel like if you are trying to insta-kill something really quickly, one of the best way probably is going to be Shufu, just because she can hit insta-kill chance like just really, really easily. Again, this is the full insta-kill team I'm talking about. Well, actually, niche. As a normal DPS, I would probably put her in B. As a because of her attack buff relying on insta-kill. Yeah. So as a normal DPS and actually needing to do like some insta-kill stuff, I would definitely put her at B. But if you are trying to do insta-kill things, A or higher probably. But right now, I think she goes in niche just because if she wants to crit, she is heavily reliant on command codes and Vitch. If she wants to insta-kill, she doesn't care about that at all. She has two completely different playstyles that one's generic and one's, for me, is amusing. And I feel like putting her... yeah, like I feel like you would use someone else other than her. Just because, again, like this is good stuff. Like when you bring up like farming with double Vitch, like is this kind of good stuff for Vitch to have? Yes, but at the same time it's not, because you have 2 skills for damage and conditional stuff. Yeah, it's like Shufu plays nice with Vitch, but not in the way you would hope, just because overload on mods here that are conditional. So, yeah, like whether these come into play completely depend on your team comp. So, yeah, I feel more comfortable putting her in niche because of how differently she actually plays. Like, it's not enough to put her in EX because she doesn't do like a lot of different things really well. She does insta-kill really well. And she can do buster farming, but that kind of is her whole thing. All right. We're going to move on. Let's talk about Ushigozen, the op. I don't know, chat. Something about her design here just makes me like, this is her face when she sees the ops. Right? I don't know. That's just the feeling I get from this. I know this is Teen Raiko, and then this is like her going full Ushigozen. I am waiting for. Is this translated yet? It is. I'll read it later because I actually do have this character. This character, mixed bag for a lot of people. She is not a farmer. She is not going to try to compete with Dante's, not even fucking close. She does not have the type of MP gain that Dante's has, even though they have similar MP gain. His MP just literally has more hits, and he has MP gain. I see Ushigozen as like very similar to Takeru. Her MP is kind of just there to do splash damage. Most of her damage is going to come from her crits. Also, very similar to Richard the Lionheart. The difference is that Ushigozen is quick and an Avenger. So, 12.4k attack, actually low for an Avenger. Like this, high for a 5-star, low for an Avenger. HP also on the lower side. Not anemic. It's not 11k, but this still isn't great either. MP charge 0.55%. This is going to bite her in the fucking ass when it comes to her refund. She only has 6 hits, and I don't remember if she has MP gain. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. So, pain point. Obviously Genji, but are you really bringing Tyra to fight Ushigozen? I don't know about that, Chief. Triple quick deck, six hits on quick, and she has 3 of them. I actually forgot about this. Yeah, no, her actual refund cards are good. 4 hits on the Buster. Are people probably upset that she's not double Buster, double quick? Probably. But this is a Caster Scotty character. This is a character that's going to work well with Caster Scotty. Yeah, 5-hit extra attack. Again, it will do okay damage, but don't expect miracles in terms of MP charge and refund, but you will get more refund out of it than you probably think. First skill, Power Mod against Demonic, 50%. Power Mod against Servants with Earth attribute for 3 turns, 50%. And 3 turns of crit damage, 30%. So this is basically her OG Raiko's 3rd skill, but weaker. Yeah. Literally, she doesn't have the Sky attribute that her Berserker form has, but she does have the Demonic and Earth attribute, right? Yep, Earth and Sky and Demonic. Yeah, so she trades out an extra power mod for crit damage in general. For her in particular, I think this is fine because I already said she's like a crit unit. If she's not fighting Sky, she's not going to be like hitting the because power mods are essentially crit damage, except they apply the extra damage whether you crit or not. But when you crit, it's the same as you having a crit buff. If I didn't say that right. So yeah, she's essentially trading 2 circles that don't overlap of equal size for a smaller circle that can overlap and just make the circle bigger. When fighting Earth attribute. And then if she's not fighting Earth attribute, she still actually has something. Second skill, 30% quick up, 30% buster, and an on-attack buff hit. Every time you attack with quick cards, you get a 20% crit damage boost. This also applies to the MP. So her having MP quick, that is like you can pretty much ramp up to 100% crit damage on her quick 100% quick crit damage up from using everything. Because 3 cards, 2 MPs, easy. Is this going to work the best? Probably not. I kind of think the 20% is a little too low. Would like it to be 30, but I understand because they are planning for this to get ramped up to 100. Bumping this up to 30 means this is getting ramped up to 150% crit damage, which is a lot for a character to be able to get for themselves with their own kit. Like, ramping up that high is not common. Feels like it's more common lately, but it isn't. It is definitely not common. Star weight 2000% for 1 turn. Crit damage 50% for 1 turn. MP damage 30% for 1 turn, and a 50% battery. If you are looking to maximize your damage, you cannot just pop this as if you're just normally farming. It's why I say, like, don't try to compare her to Dante's, because she's just going to lose. She's not meant to be farming. She's meant to be critting. And yes, her total crit potential probably isn't as high as Dante's because he has double buster, she has triple, but they have different kits. They have very different kits. Avenger, 14%. So this is definitely the lowest, and we've seen this, I think. She gets the least amount of taking extra hits, and because of how rounding works, this is a lot closer to 5 than it is actually 6. The way rounding works is if you're close enough, they'll give it to you. This passive might make her stop just short of MPing sometimes. So just kind of be aware of that. It's not going to be like an every time thing. It's just going to be something that once in a while you stop short, and this might be the reason. 8% crit damage, almost 4 gauge per turn. 12% buster up. 20% crit damage up on quick cards, and 100% damage. Bonus damage for Divinity. Doesn't say she has Divinity in her passives, but this is her Divinity passive. Depending on what you're doing, you're going to want different things. I would try to... Like, if you can get cooldown reduction, awesome. If you can't, again, it is what it is. But if she was Buster, this would look a lot better for what she could double stack and then just pile on crit damage too. But I think they actually gave her Turbo Quick to probably discourage people trying to use her with Vitch. I kind of think that's actually the case, because using Ushigozen with Vitch, I think you can double stack and start hitting caps, especially with like crit damage and the power mods here. I think you can like hit caps like really, really quickly. So yeah, like the diminishing returns on that just wouldn't make her feel as good as she could be if she was getting brand new buffs. And as you can see, there is no attack buff here. So again, keep that in mind. You're probably using Ruler Scotty or another support to give her an attack buff. MP 6-hit AoE quick. Reduces crit attack chance by 30%. This is a like classic Raida servant. Like a lot of Raida servants have this. Especially Raiko and Ibuki, all of them have this. Like, does Raida actually play FGO and ask him, hey, so for all of my servants, can you just like make sure they have crit attack chance down? Like, thank you. Yeah, because it really does feel like if you're drawn by Raida, you have something like this in your MP. Pretty sure it's not Ibuki. Not Saber. Yeah, not Saber. Or Moriarty? Do you? No, defense. Debuffs. Wait, do all of them just put debuffs? No. See, yeah, no, it's just like, not all of them, but a lot of them are built around, not built around, but like have like that. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, it feels like just for Raida servants, they tend to have like crit attack chance down, like at a decent number too. I don't know. Maybe it is just Summer Ibuki and Raiko, Berserker Raiko. And last thing about Ushigozen, 150% super effective against Earth Attribute. Again, if this is supposed to be teen Raiko, it makes sense because this is when she was at her most Oni Slayer. Like, this is when she is like not Saber level, but like, yeah, is it like this is her like when she's like dutiful, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna stop talking about Ushigozen then now, because like I actually like I'm starting to just start talking out my ass about characters I don't fully know the full story on. So power mod against Earth and Demonic is what Urbancy is. Like A or A plus. I don't know. I feel like this is less an Ushigozen thing and more like a support thing. Yeah, no, I'm putting her in A because of cause her drop. Because like if you, it's like she's. I don't think you should run double Caster Scotty and then triple. Like I think Ushigozen you would run Caster, Ruler, and then Kazura drop. Like literally run all three. Because she just has too much of a chance of capping out on crit damage. Like I feel she's just not gonna work in a more brain dead or like not thinking teen comp, that she just want to like really diversify over. Okay. Sorry, that was just a confirmation of plans after this. So, let us finish Avengers. Let me at least do that before I move on. And once again, this took 20 minutes. Need to like cut this down. But we only have 8 more, so it's fine. All right. Count of Monte Cristo. As you can tell, new artist too. But this is the Count of Monte Cristo is a very different feel than regular Edmond Dantes. This character is the equivalent to OG Kama. He is the literal equivalent to Kama, where he stun locks and just does not give the enemy a chance to actually do damage. And while he's doing those shenanigans, he also starts getting a power mod and ramping up, and actually has ramp up on his MP. Is that saying Kama's probably gonna get a buff? It's gonna be really funny if they buff Kama's MP and just make her charm chance the guaranteed, or like normally guaranteed, and then her batteries to make it a better chance. But like their Kama and Dante's do have, like Kama is more solo. Like she is she works better as a solo unit, or not better. She works as a solo unit better than Dante's. And she can do solos, but she's not necessarily fully built. No, she is. Like, do you guys kind of get what I'm saying? It's like Kama has stuff to be a solo unit. It's just not her main role. It's something she is good at though. Dante's definitely not solo. He's DPS, but you do want to be clicking his cards as much as possible. If he's solo, his spam does get easier. But like he has nothing to keep him alive if things don't work out well. Like if there is a turn that he can't stun, and you are about to take an MP, he can't really do anything about that. He like just needs the MP. And if you're fighting, and also stun resistance is probably more common than charm resistance. Kama kind of just made it more infamous, but you do see stun more than you see charm. Base attack 12.7k, not the highest, but definitely like in a good place for Avengers. HP definitely on the lower side. This is into 11k. Wish she goes in was just a little bit higher, but yeah. MP charge 0.72%, 5 hits on the quick card, 3 hits on arts, 4 hits on buster, 5 hit extra attack. His arts card refund really is good, especially QBA in a mighty chain. This extra arts card is going to give you a good amount of gain. Extra attack, you will get more gain out of this than the more recent characters I've talked about. But it's not groundbreaking. Like, these Avengers aren't having like crazy MP gain stats like that are closer to 1%. That would like net you more if you don't have extra attack finesse. But he does have double buster, double quick, so he works especially well with all of them. Obviously there is a preference towards Ruler Scotty, but he takes Scotty's regardless, and Khazar drop just makes things better. First skill, 30% card buff, quick buster, and an invul to attack 3 turns. He does have some survivability, but it is literally tied to his damage and refund, so not the best. Second skill, 30% attack buff for 3 turns, and every time he attacks, he puts a burn on the enemy, and he is poison immune and for 3 turns and full debuff immune for 3 times 3 turns. Hey, this stops this from ticking, so I'm fine with that. Like, multiple immunities, like a more specific one, stops the main debuff immunity from like getting eaten up really quickly against the wrong enemy. So, is this a little bit overkill? Sure, but I'm fine with this. Usually something like this is a passive though. Yeah, like usually this is the passive, but they're making it on a skill. Third skill, 50% battery, 50% crit damage, star weight 1000% for 3 turns. This is just so he is the one that's going to be getting all the stars. And Avengers, once they get 1,000, they're eating really, really good. Well, like Berserkers need like 5,000. Because if you didn't know, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 6 is 30. Berserkers tend to have a star weight of about 5 or 6. That's why the numbers are 1,000 and 5,000, if you didn't know. Avenger B+, 19% extra gain when he is taking hits, 12% crit damage, and 3% gauge per turn. If you want to do multi-core stuff, you'll want this, just so he's easier to start with. Skill... Okay, it really depends on if you're doing any kind of cooldown stuff or the fight is going to last longer than 3 turns, in which case this would just be more helpful. Anti-Avenger. If you summon him for OC2, I mean, this is definitely going to come into play, but I doubt at MP1 Dante's, out of all the appends, you're going to pick Anti-Avenger. I know now you can swap, but not when he came out. Hopefully NA gets that changed to appends a little early, because then you'd actually be using this in OC2. Yeah, haven't been looking at appends lately, but with being able to swap, I see more point in talking about like whether characters need these two than talking about this stuff, just because again, you can swap if you don't need one of these two, you can just put it on here. MP, 10 hit single target, ignores invincibility, 500% chance to stun. This is fucking important. It means that even if you have magic resist, no matter how fucking crazy, even if you have debuff resistance of like 300%, this stun would still go through. Awesome. Damage to one enemy. The same type of super effective ramp up that Bawan Chi's buff gave her, where every DOT that's on the enemy, it's going to increase the super effective damage you have. It starts at 100%, goes all the way to 200%, so double damage. Where Most of the time, we're probably going to be sitting around 5 unless you're using command codes. So you have Dante's, make sure you bring burn command codes. Because he will just do more damage. Last part, defense down after damage, base 10 to 20. Really kind of don't like this. Wish it was 20. Or if it's gonna be low 10%, at least make it happen before damage. If they're not changing the scaling, or if they're not changing the activation time, can you make this 20% scale up to 40? Would be very, very nice. Thank you very much. Last thing, Bonsi, 20% power mod against burn enemies while he's on the field for the party. Yeah. Hey, oh, there you are. I know these two are here for completely different reasons. You are not here for single target quick damage. And he's not. No, he is. So usually, like, especially with comma being, oh, wrong thing. Comma being the example. Yeah, comma being the example. Most servants that have stun lock mechanics like this do not also have super effective, or a type of ramp up. Usually they don't, because it would also mean like their skill lock, stun locking MP is now also doing more damage every time. Yeah, I know the same thing that I said about Aris can also apply to Dante's if you're not able to debuff the enemies, damage falls off. The huge difference between that is that Aris is an arts unit that isn't critting. Dante's is a quick unit that also has double buster, double quick. That is not the same. If the enemy is not able to be debuffed, only thing that's really going to happen is his MP doesn't have super effective. Is that a pain point? Absolutely, that is a pain point. But it's not like all of his. It's not like he's dealing, like, it's not like these burns are for a power mod that's also going to affect his crit. His crit and his MP damage are two completely different things that they add into each other's damage. They don't take away from each other's damage. Aris, if you were to try to invest her into crit, it's just not, it's not something you want to really be focusing on. She is an MP spammer and embodies the arts playstyle, doing really big damage from the MP and spamming the shit out of it. Crits, not so much. Dante's, his damage definitely isn't as high. It can certainly start reaching the peaks easily. You can easily reach the peaks Reese is hitting by putting more power mod burn on. But the enemy not getting being stun resistant isn't or debuff immune. Is it a reason not to use him? Yes. Is he unusable in that situation? No. Reese is more hindered by debuff immunity than he is. So I feel confident putting him in the EX. Again, just checking. Okay. Looks like I still have more time. So we're done with Avengers. Time for Moon Cancers, and we have 7. Yes, we have 7 because three are welfare / free to play. So, how do I want to do this? Start with Talak, because, yeah, we're gonna go in order of not priority. Although, actually, yeah, no, this is pretty much in order of like fan favorites. Like, a lot of people like Talak. or Tenochtitlan, but yeah, I don't think people like her as much as people like CL, BB Dubai, Arquid, Kiara, BB Summer. Same with Jinako. They're good characters. People like them, but let's not pretend that people don't care more about these 5. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and ended on BB Dubai. All right, Talak Summer, Tenochtitlan Bunny. Again, being completely honest, I have this character, have not been using her that often lately. Again, it has to do with like skills just not being leveled and like timing just doesn't work right. Base attack on the lower side for 4 stars, 8.9k. HP 12.7k. MP charge 0.58%. Double buster, double quick. 4 hits on the arts cards. On the arts card, sorry. It's definitely not a terrible one. This is a fairly good arts card, for what it's worth. And the quick cards will gen, just not a lot. By the way, let's talk about Moon Cancers and their base stats. 1.0 modifiers, base star gen 15%, and half of the star weight of, or like caster star weight. Caster star weight. First skill, 20 battery for the party flat. Heal for the party every turn, 3 turns is 1,000. 20% attack buff for the party as well. So 20 battery, 20 attack buff. And unfortunately, you also increase the enemy's attack by 10% for 3 turns. Because Talak actually puts a debuff on all the buff on all the enemies. I will say, if you're trying to meme with like Caster Liz, this character does let her get like a 60 battery. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just noticing that because we don't usually see servants that buff the enemies, and I'm just gonna bring it up real quick. Halloween. Alright, yeah, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this skill. She gets a 20 battery based on the enemies that have the buff. So if you're doing if you're fighting 6 enemies, and you bring Caster Liz and Talak, Caster Liz is going to get 140% battery. She is AoE too, so like that's not the worst synergy. That yeah, because you also strip off that attack buff before it actually does anything. So that's just something you can do to meme around. Yeah, second skill, taunt to herself for 3 turns. Increases her defense, and every time she gets hit, she gets MP damage. And the defense is at 50%. This is a huge defense buff, and she is a tank. Wait, we got 2 tanks this year. Or did we get more? No, because we got Kira's buff too that also basically gives him this as well. Except his is when Guts procs. So Talak getting 50% defense. If you have any kind of damage cut that you can also give Talak, she's just gonna tank a lot of hits, get free MP damage, and not have taken much damage at all. Third skill, 30% card buff, Quicken Buster, dodge for a full turn, crit damage of all bunny servants, and reduces skill cooldown of bunny servant allies. So, ooh, sorry about that. with this, being able to reduce the skill cooldown of Bunny Servant allies, and this also being on a 6-turn cooldown, it also means that Talok can, if you had one Vitch, okay, first up, let's bring up Bunny Servants. Oh, shit, Alco's here too? Wait. Is it not Super Al... Does Super Alco get this? Like... Okay. So Super Alco does not have the bunny. Unfortunate. But Vitch does. And as I showed with Lionheart, if you have a servant that can reduce cooldown to Vitch and also get it reduced, be able to pop the skill twice, aka Vitch pops her battery on, or not Vitch pop is the battery, but this, like, you're basically buster farming. Vitch is going to be able to pop her second and third skill on turn 3. So, unfortunately, this battery is only 20. If this was 30, it would have... yeah, it would have just been more obvious about that. And unfortunately, Talok just doesn't have... actually? No, because you're using Alco. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, no, because you're using Alco. Yeah, I actually want to test this now. So we'll do that later. Passives, 12% arts, divinity, crit damage on water side up 20%. Capital of the Moon, quick up 5%, arts up 5%, crit damage up 5%, and she does have damage cut. So this 50% defense is not a big amount of damage cut, but 200 is 200. It's 200 after the defense at the end of the formula. So after you already cut it in half, then you shave off 200. Charge 20. We'll see on farming. I don't think you can use a 50% CE, but you might be able to get away with 60. I mean, yeah, starting with 60. And because of how Alco works, I think you actually might be able to do the buster farming. Anti-Pretender. Skill cooldown, yes, definitely. MP 6-hit AoE quick. Ignores invincibility. Damage to all enemies. Super effective against super large. Defense down. And MP damage up 20% for 1 turn. I love this fucking MP. I think it's fucking sick. I was a huge fan of Power Rangers as a kid. And her summoning a goddamn Megazord to cut people with a giant-ass buzzsaw. That's just fucking cool. Bond CE, 10% MP damage for the party, and then power mod against super large enemies, 20%. So before I place her, because originally I was gonna put her in super niche, but I do want to see what her farming looks like. So pause here, and we'll come back. All right. All right. Hmm. Hmm. No. Yeah, no. All right. So, I just got back testing Talak, and I am, as a farmer, she's kind of fine. She is, you essentially have to start from 50 with her, um, or use triple Scotty. So Oberon, not really viable. Her battery charge is just not great, but it's not like unbearable either. Just this being AoE 20 is just a little annoying. But if you're like starting from 50, there's literally no problems. She's absolutely fine with her charge situation. You just make sure that she has, like, you don't use this part. Like, basically, mana loading, from what I've seen, like, you just don't use this. Like, you don't need this. And you're basically using your 20% for if Talalak doesn't loop enough. Like, she loops 40, not 50. I do think, like, obviously you can still use Oberon. I'm not saying you can't. It's just that refund for her is definitely on the scuffed end because she does not have, like, an MP game buff. And she is, like, she's not meant to really be a farmer. That's the other thing. Like, you can use her for farming, but that isn't really her purpose. She wants to be a tank and take a lot of hits for 3 turns and then hit someone really, really hard over the course of 3 turns with her own MP. The reason her charge doesn't work is because she's supposed to be getting hit. She's not really meant to be farming. The bunny servant cooldown, it's okay, but most of these aren't. A lot of these are DPSs, not support. So it's more Talalak is tanking while these other characters, if their DPSs, are on the field. When I was talking about Vitch earlier, I really did forget that Talak was quick and not Buster, and that makes it just more awkward even trying to use these two together. I don't know why I was bringing up Lionheart, because they do not work well together. So I'm keeping it in for the recording of this tier list, just to show, like, my own headspace. I make mistakes all the time. Yeah, the synergy, trying to, like, fit these two in here, I'm just brain rotted from doing it with Richard, and trying to force something that wasn't there. So, Talak, I am going to have to put her in niche, like, because of the bunny servant thing that's gonna, like, get bigger with costumes and as more characters come out, and then also the fact that she is a tank. Most, like, can she do farming? Yeah, it's not awesome. It's not great though. So I'd rather not bump her down because of bad farming when she's not really supposed to be a farmer in the first place. She is a sub DPS / tank. Not really, and if she does damage, it's because, like, she tanked. She tanked a lot of damage. So in general, you're probably going to use her with, like, more damaging CEs. I don't know if you actually would use Black Rail because she's going to ramp up to 90, but Black Rail is still Black Rail. And on my main, I have 2 MOB Black Rails at level 100. So I get to have my cake and eat it too. Yeah, so that's the lock. Time to keep moving on. Jineko. I'm pretty sure Jineko still has the highest HP in the entire game. She is one of the best tanks in the game, and for a lot of people, she beats out Kishi Wong. I'm kind of, in terms of, like, pure survivability, yes, I think Jinako is absolutely better than Kishi Wong. Her MP, Kishi Wong like wants and doesn't want to get hit, while Jinako like always wants to be getting hit and actually has stuff to keep herself alive. But if you're not careful, like you're more worried about. Okay, so if Jinako is in a team, you're more worried about everyone else dying than Jinako, and if you're solo, Jinako probably isn't dying, but it's gonna take a very, very, very long time to kill something. While Kishi Wong, he kind of speed runs it and still has like decent uptime. Base attack 9.16, and unlike rulers, there is no multiplier. This is straight. I believe she is the lowest attack of all 5 stars, but she has the highest HP by such a large margin. I don't think that's even fair. Like, this is trading 2,000 attack, for instance, for like 5,000 HP or like 4,000. Like, and because she's supposed to just be tanking, like you can use her craft essence to kind of make up for that. Just don't use a split one, use a full attack one, and it's not great, but it's still definitely better. MP charge 0.35%, very low gain. She's heavily reliant on getting hit and spamming the shit out of arch chains. Not so much herself. Star Gen even a little lower compared to the average Moon Cancers. 4 hits on quick, 4 hits on the 3 arts cards, and 4 hits on Buster, 5 hit extra attack. This will gen stars. Do not expect MP gain from her extra attack. It is bad. It's like worse arts cards than Tamamo. First skill, 20 battery for the party, 20% attack, and 15 stars per turn. You put 5 on each character, and as long as they're still on the field, you will get the 5 stars. Second skill, tank, but this one is one turn. Taunt for herself, 1,000 damage cut, 30% attack buff for 3 turns. This is why her base attack is as low as it is, but I do not think it makes up for it unless you have a really big, chunky grilled Jinako. Because even at level 120, her base attack is at a normal level for a level 95 star. Third skill, has been buffed, grants one ally invul, and increases their MP gen, MP damage, power mod against lawful, but you skill seal them. If you're able to cleanse it off, or they have a cleanse themselves, this is not really a demerit. Just make sure you pop their skills before you pop Jinako's third skill on them. MP gen is 33% for 1 turn. MP damage is 30% for 3 turns. And lawful is 50% for 3 turns. As a support, this is like still fairly good. This is decent utility as a support. And she can also be the solo servant herself. It's just very slow. Deep res up 20%. Riding A, 10% quick up. The need for tickle. I also wouldn't recommend trying to farm with her. I think you're gonna just not be happy. Like, sure, you could do it if you use K-Scope, Double Castoria, and Oberon, but what fucking arts unit can't farm if you give them that much extra help? What art servant can't farm if you're literally force-feeding them 175% gain over the course of 2 turns? For solos, definitely 1 and 5 are the ones that you care about. You don't really care about 2 for a solo, because this you get skills down a turn sooner. This may or not make a difference if you're starting from 0 and no supports, while these 2 will matter. MP, 3-hit AoE arts. Do not use her in farming. I'm telling you, you will be upset and want to scrap this unit, this servant, if you try to use her in farming. She's not meant for farming. Defense down of all enemies, 30% for 3 turns. Hey, this is a super nice normal effect. Along with giving herself an invul. Her normal effects are sick. And then she also heals on her MP. So, literally, it's... the name of the game is to be able to spam her MP. The issue is getting her to spam her MP. Yeah, I think this star gen is just like not enough for what Jineko wants to do, especially if like she's solo. She's only getting 5 stars per turn. That is nowhere near enough. Bonsi, 8 stars per turn, 300 heal for the party while she's on the field. This is not a bad Bonsi, but I still think Jineko could use like way more stars per turn. For her specific playstyle, and this is the same as Kishi Wong, I feel she needs more stars per turn in general. This is, even with this and the Bonsi, it's still only 13. That's not enough to guarantee crits at all. Alright, so where do I place Jinko? A+. As long as you don't try to use her in farming, she's not that bad. Like, if you're in, like, a story fight, she's not that bad. She's going to get hit. You can actually use her kit the way it's supposed to be. But if you're trying to brute force her in farming, no. The fact that she also has supportive utility now, like, decent supportive utility too. Like, it's not just her 3rd skill now. 20% attack, 20 battery, stars per turn, taunt for a turn, and targeted invul, MP gen, MP damage, power mod, along with being able to put defense down. Yeah, no, she has a fairly good supportive kit for extra 1. Now, in comparison to extra 2, oh boy, no, she would be bumped down to probably B. If Jineko was in the extra 2 list, she definitely would be being bumped down, because the support she's providing is good for this part of the extra class triangle. Alter egos and pretenders are and also Van Gogh. Yeah, no, actually, just that triangle has just so many like actual buffers that it's crazy. So Jineko is up here mostly because she does a lot of stuff, and what she does good, she does fairly good. And what she does bad, you just don't use her for that. Like, if we're talking arts looper, don't use at all. If you're trying to arts farm, don't use her at all. But tank, support, she can do it. And solo. Tank, support, solo. Let's go 5 more. Okay. So, BB Summer. I can actually not put her into extremely niche. Even though last year I could. The reason I can't now is because her farming is actually legit now. She does not need super scope. She just needs a pen 5, and then her damage with starting from 50 is stellar for neutral. It's not hitting cuckoo damage, but honestly her neutral damage is not that far off. She's also not that far off from Arcwood. But I think that's Arcwood without actually, I take it back about Arcwood. I think it's BB's Black Rail damage looks similar to Arcwood, but Arcwood versus BB 50. Yeah, no. So, BB. And truly, like, okay, so I kind of don't like BB Summer without the tan when she's in this outfit. Personal preference, I like if she's if her swimsuit's like this, she looks better with the tan than without the tan. But luckily you have your own preference. You can literally pick whichever one you want, and your MP animation sprite will change too. So even this BB is saying that this BB is full of shit when she says that she merged with an outer god. It's either it's not a merge and she ate the outer god, or she's full of shit. Which one? That's up to you. It could even be both. It's fucking BB. Base attack 11.1k on the lower side for 5 stars. HP on the higher side. When she released, she was a sub DPS or support, not a main DPS. It's just now that she actually has good MP damage. Because for a very, very long time, she had actual potato damage. Okay, so workout is not happening. I just got the message now. I am probably going to have to take a break, though. Because I have to go pick something up at my parents' house, and free food is free food. Sorry for that interruption. I had my phone here, just being aware of that, because I didn't want to ghost them while I was recording this. All right. MP charge 0.61%. Decent hit counts, not great. Like, the gain isn't amazing, but it's still 3 hits on them. And it's better, like, the way refund and everything works in this game, it's better to have a lot of hits and lower gain than few hits and high gain, just because of how overkill works. So, and if BB wants to be the DPS herself, she also will be carding. So that's why I am mentioning this. If she's the DPS and you're just spamming mighty chains, these will feel pretty good. Again, 4 hits on quick, 3 hits on arts, 5 hit on buster, 4 hit extra attack. So weak extra attack, even though the extra attack is kind of one of her skill buffs that you wanted to hit. So it is lackluster, but remember what number she is. This is ID 220. Talalak was 420. So they have definitely got better at serving design by the time they hit Talalak versus BB. Like, the 5 hit extra attack, that became the standard after BB came out. She does have existence outside the domain, so she works with Van Gogh. So if you really want to use BB as a farmer and a crit servant, you can. And yeah, use her as a crit servant, and then she's just spamming Buster Brave Chains while getting amped by Van Gogh. Oh, although in that case, you probably would just be DPSing with Van Gogh. So, I mean, that's your choice. It really is your choice which one is the bigger super. Yeah, also, one sec. It's starting to... Yeah, my apartment's starting to get hot now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, headphones back on too. Don't forget that. All right. Actually, headphones off, because I think there's a dent in my hair now. Yep, there is a dent in my head, so I gotta ease off using these. All right, so yeah, when I'm recording, I probably should either get different headphones or something else. I don't know. All right. And sorry for this rant. Also, Sakura series. So she's not a part of the Sakura 5 directly, like Violet, Kazuha Drop, Melt, Passion Lip, King Protea. She's not a part of the Sakura 5, but she is the one that she spawned them from herself. So that's why she has the trait. So there are 6 members of the Sakura 5. Or no, that's why they don't call it the Sakura 5. Sorry, that's why they don't call it the Sakura 5. That's why they call it Sakura series. These are AI based on Sakura, and all of them spawn from BB, and that's why there are 3 of them. Or yeah, there are 3 BBs. 5 of them here. We're only missing Violet now. So this is also Sakura series is also different from Sakura Face. They are 2 different things. Sakura series is also only the AIs from Extra, while Sakura Face is anyone that looks like Sakura. First skill, which is what was buffed, 50% crit damage, 800% star weight, which is really all she needs. 30% crit damage, which at the time was a buff she did not have. And then every time she does an extra attack, she gens 20 stars. Not bad for a crit servant. If she's spamming Buster Brave Chains, that is like more than enough stars probably to crit. To keep critting. Second skill is literally what stopped her from farming. This is a disgusting battery skill, but the cooldown here is 7. So she literally was not able to do double Vich Oberon because of this cooldown. Cooldown reduction. This is down to 6. Now she's able to double stack a 50% MP damage buff. Yes, 50% MP damage on a 50% battery. Like, we don't see skills like this, and they're not going to make skills like this. This skill was made in, like, with the balance in mind that you could, like, this was even before double Vich. So they didn't even make this with Vich in mind. They just thought this kind of, a 50 battery with this much steroids just needs to be longer. Thank God they did not make this 8 turns, because this easily could have been an 8-turn cooldown, and then BB would still be shit out of luck. She'd still be getting used, just not as a farmer. Third skill, what made herself infamous before she got her big buff. She locks down the cards. Whatever cards you see in your bottom right corner, first characters, 2 that you have their Buster and Quick card. Second character, you don't have any other cards. Third character, you have a full, let's assume it's a Berserker, you have a full Buster Brave Chain. You lock down those cards, and as long as no one dies, you are spamming that Buster Brave Chain for 3 turns in a fucking row. If the character has anything that, like, either puts defense down or anything else when Buster cards are used and there's not a hit count restriction, you're good. But hit count restrictions, like 3 times Buster buff, you're not going to want to use them with BB. Because you're going to burn, like, times base, you are going to burn through them very quickly. You also get 10 stars per turn. So if BB is the DPS and she is spamming Buster Brave Chains, she gets 30 stars for free, not even counting any kind of star gen. And again, if she also has the star weight, like, that's more than enough guaranteed crits for her. As for other characters, it really depends on them. Because is this 10 stars per turn going to be enough? Because if BB's not doing the extra attack, your other characters need to be the ones that are spanning skills. However, people are using BB now how she was being used before. So after she got her buff, we got CL, who we'll talk about later. And CL works really well with BB because CL makes it so all the cards are her cards. You swap CL out, and you make you swap out for your DPS. Now your DPS has their entire hand, and then you lock down the cards with BB. So, like, off rip, I am just placing these 2. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna get this placement done like now, and then I'll talk about this. Here. And the only reason I'm doing this now is because I have such experience using these characters. I kind of have a good idea of where I'm placing them. Summer Kiara, A+, BB Dubai, EX. As support everything, solo unit, CQ, multi-core, farmer. Yeah, that's why I placed them. We'll go over the rest of that later. Passives, territory creation A, 10% arts up, burn immunity, existence outside of the domain, so she works with FGO. Goddess Essence for 25% debuff resistance. For farming, all you care about is this. If you want to try doing Black Rail farming, you still need this. Black Rail farming is a luxury, and you need Summer Kuro to do it as well. You need this to do farming, period. So MP1, you have to hit Bond 6. If you want extra pens, either get MP2 or go to Bond 11. And if you have MP2 and you want 3 pens, go to Bond 11, the same thing. MP hasn't been buffed, and I really don't like this MP in general. It's a really bad MP, and the normal effect, or no, sorry, the overcharge effect sucks so much ass. They need, like, but the thing is, BB does so much damage in farming, I think they might be a little scared to actually buff her MP. Real quick on this. Yeah. Also, Bond CE, arts up, buster up while she's on the field. So, yeah, let's just really quickly just show BB's buster farming numbers. Last I checked, it was like 360,000 damage neutral. I don't see there being a difference. So, imagine that. Then with Summer, Chloe, and Black Rail. And, yeah, BB just can do so much damage. She has so much potential for damage. Like, to the point that it would be better, like, it is good that her weakest buff is her buster buff, because she already gets so much of it. If she can get, like, if they give her super effective on her MP, it is G fucking G. Like, I think BB at level, we're starting from 50, actually might start reaching the levels of characters that are starting with Black Rail. Like, BB, like, that's how many buffs BB actually has in her kit. Like, it starts getting ridiculous that her damage starts matching people that have Black Rail. And she will do it way more consistently if they decide to fix her stupidly bad MP. Because the chance to drain an additional time at 10%, her base MP has a 10% chance of doing something else. Okay, first. And sorry for taking long on this, but I just wanted to. Because, like, in general, this is just not going to take long, and also we're not fitting Alco in this. I'm not stressing this. Okay, so turn 1, 50,000 damage. Or no, like 65,000 damage. Turn 1, 65,000 damage, because there's a bunch of 1.1s. There's 2 1.1s and a 1.9. So we'll say around 65,000 damage. Turn 2. Attack buff. We're up to, is it a 1.0 here? Yes, right here. We're up to 80,000 damage. And you're going to watch the explosion. $300,000 damage. Neutral. Why did I think this was higher? I don't know why I thought this damage was higher. But yeah, 300,000 damage neutral, Buster farming when she has potential to go to Black Rail. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, wait, did I not give her power mods? Oh. Are these man attribute? But yeah, you get the deal. 300,000 in Buster farming while not having a super effective or even a good MP. So them buffing her MP would honestly be GG's. Like I think hitting 300,000 for a character from year 3 with no MP buff is good damage. I do think that. It shows that there is good potential and a more likely chance that she will get buffed because she's been out for so long versus a character that literally came out like 2 weeks ago. Like Arkwood getting a buff, I see less likely than Summer BB getting another buff, honestly, because there's less wrong with Arkwood's kit than BB. BB's MP is the biggest pain point in this entire character. And for most people, they don't care about her MP, which is also why I'm placing her here. Because half the time, people do not care about her MP. They just care about her card locking. So if you want to move her from here to here, I completely understand. But it's also, she does like fairly good like farming damage too. Like her damage went up 50% from here to here. And compared to Moon Cancers, the only one that's beating her is Arkwood with Black Rail. BB's at 50%. There is no Arkwood where she's using 50, so it's too hard a comparison right now. Four more. This is one of my most fun characters. I really like, outside of this being Kiara and the stink of, or what you smell when you're around Kiara, she is actually like a really fun servant, and it's also not even this too. Like this, cool, sexy, whatever. Like, yeah, sure, horny nun wearing police outfit, awesome. But her kit honestly is like actually fun to use. Besides all the boba, like people choose Kiara, A, for her appearance and character, and then B, that when they make Kiara, or like, no, sorry, not Kiara in most parts of the game is just like good, generically good. They build her character well. That like they don't have to try that hard. Like the OG Kiara got buffed so many times. This one hasn't got buffed because her kit already has buffs included. Shit. I'm rambling right now, chat. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Yeah, my mouth is just like running right now, and I'm not concise. All right. 1 second. I'm just getting water, chat, and we'll be back. All right, so I promise that was not Kiara having some existential power that actually turns every man that looks at her, fictional or real, into a simp. I promise you that's not what's going on. My brain is just dead from talking about all these servants so quickly. So again, I have used this character a lot in CQs. If you look at the channel, I do have I haven't been posting CQs lately. I need to get back to posting them. Haven't recorded, just haven't actually released it. I have used Summer Kiara for a lot of them. Some of them not min turns, but I have used her to clear content fairly easily. The more you use this character, the more you know how it works. It's timing is such an important thing for Kiara, and it also depends on if you're using Tamamo or not. If you're not using Tamamo, you have to be far more conscious of when you're popping, when you need to get the buff skill and when you need to just pop the skill to get the skill. With Tamamo, there is because your skills are on such a shorter cooldown, and Kiara can kind of do crit, but not really. She's mostly MP spam. So you would be popping Tomo's MP a bunch. You can pretty much have her debuffs on the enemy non-stop, and also just her spamming her MP. And when she needs to crit, she'll just get an arts crit and go back to MPing. Yeah, she's just a fun character, and she has every kind of everything I actually want in characters for harder stuff. Kiara kind of is that character. For a lot of characters, if your supports die, you're kind of shit out of luck. Especially for buster farmers. Kiara, it really doesn't matter if she's solo or in a team. She plays essentially the same way either. Unironically, she actually plays about the same whether she's solo or in a team. It's just in a team, she can just pump out more damage a lot quicker. But you also could say that about most characters. So 11.1k attack, 15.3k HP. For her specifically, I would prefer she had more HP. So her having a slightly lower attack is fine for me. MP charge 0.6%. I really don't notice it being that low. When you need to crit with her, she will crit and you will get the amount of gain you need. It's her profile is very similar to BB, but also just having more supports that actually work better with her than BB does with a lot of other support. With how BB used to work with other supports. Sorry. So traits. Animal characteristic on stage 3, demonic beast servant. This is pretty much only Tunguska that you have to really worry about this. Other than that, yeah, not really. It really is just animal characteristics if you want to try to get better bond farming. Quick 3 hits, arts 3 hits, buster 4 hits, 5 hit extra attack. So, also, is this version of Kiara only good in CQs? No. You can definitely use her in farming, and she does technically function a little bit better than OG Kiara. And it does kind of have to do with the fact that she's a moon cancer. She doesn't have to she's a little more universal, but she's still not the best at arts farming. You can use her the same way you can use her refund is It's essentially like farming with Muramasa, that same kind of battery profile. Although it also kind of depends on how you're using her second skill. So again, this is a big user. She has an extremely high skill ceiling, and also kind of and an okay floor. If it helps put it into better perspective. So first skill, Guts, 1 time 5 turns, awesome. This is on a 6-turn cooldown. If you have mana loading, you have 100% uptime on this Guts. And honestly, for Kiara, your Guts probably isn't proccing in the first 6 turns. Probably not. Full cleanse, heal per turn, 2k per turn, 20% MP damage for 3 turns, and she gives herself Mermaid Nourishment. This is what lets you level up her second and third skill. Different way from how Cuckoo levels up her skills. They just cost stars. This, you need an actual buff to do it. So also, if you're fighting someone with a lot of buff removal, not a good time for Kiara. She is debuff focused for damage, but her kit relies on buffs. So yeah, just be aware that if you ever get buff removed, you are so fucked. It's not even funny. Yeah, and just the note that these rank ups can stack. So, base version of this skill. Oh, sorry, that's the super version. So the base version, 30% battery, 20 stars. Eating up 1 rank up, 40% battery, 25 stars. So 5 more stars and 10% battery. And that carries over. Full stacks, 50% battery, 30 stars. You cannot consume more than you can't consume more than 2 at a time. If they decide to buff Summer Kiara, I think that is something they would do, because it is very possible to like have multiple of these stacks and not be able to use them, because of like skill uptime with Tomomo and stuff. But this being on a 5-turn makes it a little bit easier. It actually kind of is a preference than all of these being at the same cooldown. This being a slightly shorter means that when everything is out of sync, you can more easily use these skill rank ups without worrying about not being able to use them. Like they'll just disappear or something. Yeah, like it gets a lot trickier if you are actually able to double stack this fully and have 2 of these up at once. That's when you might start overflowing. But yeah, like she just has kind of a slow start, and then she'll pick up speed the longer the fight goes on. Third skill, base version, party evasion for 1 attack 3 turns. Remove all enemies' evasions. Inflicts bewitchment. This is just like, it has the trait, but this is basically just a debuff specific for Kiara, and reduces crit attack chance by 10% for each stack you have of this. Reduces their defense by 20% for 3 turns, and then static reduces arch res down by 20% for 3 turns. My biggest complaint about sorry, I'll go through the rest of this. So leveling up once brings the defense up to 25%. Arch res is up to 25%, and you put 2 stacks of bewitchment on all enemies. And then third one carries over. You put 3 stacks per enemy. Defense down 30%, right? And then arch res down 30%. So why specifically does she have this bewitchment when they could have just given her this? Like, what the fuck is the point of them giving her a debuff when it literally translates to this debuff equals this? Has to do with her MP and the other issues that spawn from it. Passives, 12% arts up, 12% MP damage. Beast passive, 2 crit damage and skill res and mental debuff resistance. and a passive 14% defense, not damage cut, against humanoid enemies. AKA, almost every servant in the game, she gets just she just gets defense too. Don't even have to do anything, you just get defense. Her stacking with other defense buffs just make it a whole lot easier. The hardest fights usually are against servants, so it makes sense that a boss fighting servant like this would have a power mod that lets her take even more punishment. It gives her more it gives her more cushion for pushing. That it's why is it so appropriate? Why is that phrase actually so appropriate for Kiara, but it still makes me hurt inside saying it? Mana loading for ease of use, skill cooldown mostly for Tamamo stuff. Again, if you're not careful with skill cooldown, you are gonna kind of fuck yourself over. And also remember, if your guts procs, do not double pop this. Do not. Your guts needs to proc, otherwise you will not have a guts for another 6 turns. So that is something to be more afraid of than anything. So the reason why Kiara had she made Bewitchment for just crit chance is because those crit chance reductions count as mental debuffs. Kiara wants people to not be able to think straight, so she can kind of just do whatever she wants to people. Yeah, no, I'm implying exactly what you think I'm implying for that. She is that bad of a person. Just always remember, Kiara is a terrible, terrible fucking person. No matter how the game wants you to pity her, she is definitely the case of the abused becoming not just the abuser, but running the whole fucking system. So, 3-hit AoE arts, super effective damage for each mental debuff. This goes from just normal 0 super effective damage all the way up to 200%. So her MP can do triple damage if you actually have enough mental debuffs on the enemy. The issue is definitely going to be getting that level of mental debuffs, which is why I say use her with Tamamo. The better you can spam this, literally the more damage she does. But unfortunately, these Bewitchment stacks only last for 3 turns. So there's also 2 issues with this. But we're not done talking about the MP. But just know that this can stack up very, very high. I believe unremovable buffs / debuffs. I don't want to say whether they count or not, because that's just really hard to test. Like, how often is an enemy going to have, like, that they're already charmed before the fight even starts, right? It's like Terror Confusion, yes, but this is more like Domin, and unfortunately, Kiara's lawful evil, not chaotic evil. She also has a chance to insta-kill. It's 100% base chance. Not terrible, but you definitely would be using other characters than Kiara for insta-kill farming. Trust me on that one. But with the insta-kill Mysticode, all you really need is, like, technically, she just needs to just hit the enemy. Like, if they're 80%, like, you just need that Mysticode and then you're good to... Oh, wait, no, that's, no, here, 120% with the Mysticode. You don't need to rely on overcharge on it. But, again, you're probably going to use a different character. More probably like Nidocris, because they have the same chance to insta-kill. But Nidocris has 100% battery, so you can use Needle Chris double Doman and never have to worry, as long as you actually insta-kill. But again, just save Needle Chris for wave 3 then, and you only have to insta-kill 1 enemy, not 3. But her Bonsi is actually fucking broken though. It is a full revive. This is a full one-time guts that is not only stackable with other guts, but it brings her HP to 100%. You literally have to kill her at least 2 times for Kiara to actually stay down. I almost made another sex joke without even trying that time. Yeah, she's always ready for round 3. Once you get her Bonsi, she's always ready for round 3. There we go. I got it in. Fuck's sake. Why is it so easy making sex jokes around Kiara? Oh, right, because she has her own dick gravitational pull. Dicks just attract her. They just like focus into her assets. And then she's covered in sea foam. She'll be covered in sea foam. Anyway, I already placed Kiara. I think she needs to be able to like have a better chance of mental debuff success rate, because my god, or not even debuff, not even mental debuff success rate, debuff success rate, because my god, her damage falls off a cliff if you, like some of your debuffs don't land, and because it's only 100% chance, if you're fighting someone with high levels of magic resist, nothing is fucking landing. If you're fighting someone with a Goddess Essence magic resist combo, nothing is fucking landing when you're using Kiara. I keep saying these are going to take less time, but they just keep taking about the same time. All right. Next up, Arquid. This unironically is going to take less time because Arquid is just really good at farming, whether it's multi-core or solo core. Now she's better at solo core than she used to be. And before, her main use was multi-core. Clear a wave. Don't worry about it. Buff your teammates. Use other SSRs that kind of play to that style. Like Queen Sky of Dark, Tonal Echo. Characters that want, like, if you're just doing normal farming, don't stress it. You can run all of them at 0 and they'll be perfectly fine to kill everything. Yeah, so that's kind of like what she's kind of evolved into being for farming wise. You run her with characters that you're basically just spamming 3 different MPs like people used to farm FGO back in the day. When they just ran like 3 characters and all of them had like K-scopes, so they had not MOB, but just K-scopes. All the characters had their own batteries. MP turn 1, MP turn 2, highest damaging MP turn 3. That's essentially how you use Alco right now for multi-core, with obviously caveats depending on who you're running her with. But nowadays, she is able to do single-core buster farming, and I will show that because I thought BB's was higher. I'm going to show Arquid's with Black Rail. Is gross. Is gross damage. So, first off, this is Arquid. Archetype Earth. These two. No, this is the OG. Subcaps. Yeah, no, actually, I do have to mention that. Like, if you're not using Black Earth, her damage isn't great. Yeah, I will mention that, Caps. Yeah, so, Arquid from Tsukihime. I think this is the original concept of, before Arquid became Arquid. And then this is, unique to FGO. Base attack, good number, just above like what was the midpoint. HP 14k, little bit higher than that, but not much higher. MP charge 0.45%. You kind of don't worry about face cards. Like in farming, like you're gonna have enough charge. You just need to make sure you have a pen 5. She also changes her alignments based on per ascension. 1 and 3, chaotic good. Stage 2, neutral good. Doesn't really matter in terms of like buffers. Like I mean, you have to jump through some hoops, but you could make stage 1 chaotic evil for Dovin synergy, but I would not recommend that. Arcwood isn't really a crit servant. If she crits, it's because you're making her crit, not because she wants to. Outside of like a mighty chain. 4 hits on quick, 4 hits on arts, 3 hits on buster, 5 hit extra attack. First skill, skill seals all enemies for 1 turn, reduces defense and 30% attack buff for herself. My experience, I always save this for final wave. I do not use this on turn 1 to make her hit harder. I just like suffer with the worst damage. Although most times, if you're just doing like basic bitch farming, you don't usually need like for wave 1. You kind of don't need more than 30,000, and like even at MP1, she kind of can do 30,000. You just have to give her like the CE she's using. It kind of just needs attack. Second skill, 100% battery, 20% MP damage, 7 turn cooldown. This is why you need a pen 5. This brings it down to a 6. And then you can double pop an 100% battery and 3 turn farming without even needing Oberon. That's right. For farming with Arcwood, if you are if your damage is not a concern, like you don't need Oberon. She can do her farming with any Mystic Code. So if you're trying to level specific Mystic Codes and it's just like normal stuff, like you're going through rank ups, like those rank ups that are like 5 nodes to unlock like the skill, you can kind of just use Arcwood and just use double Vitch. And if your damage is good enough, you kind of are just turning your brain off. You don't have to plug suit or anything. You just bring damage and you do damage. Is that the best use case for her? Absolutely not. Her damage fucking explodes with Oberon because of how much MP damage she has. Just saying that is something also you can do with her. Yeah, like for 100% battery servant, like she's just so solid at it. Third skill, party-wide invul, 1 attack, 3 turns. Buff removal resistance for good alignment allies, 1 turn. And if you're on the Millennium battlefield, so you popped your MP already, you get a 30. Everyone else gives a 30 battery. Passives: 21% magic debuff for the 21% debuff res, 12% arts up, 10% debuff success rate, 10% crit damage, and if you have already popped their MP and you see this icon on your screen, Arcwood gets a 30% rainbow buff for each card type, except the extra attack. So, you need this if you want to do black rail looping. If you want Arcwood to actually do farming, you need this. Everything else is just butter. I'm assuming she has Foreigner because archetypes will protect the world from foreigners or some shit, because this is their world and they're not letting anyone else step on their toys. But I'm not entirely sure on that. MP though, 4 hit AoE Buster, turns everything into Millennium Castle Battlefield. So this does mean her own MP gets her Buster buff. It is not that she has to do damage, like her MP does damage and then she gets the Buster buff. She does get this part first. So technically speaking, her damage could have been a lot worse. She also has super effective against chaotic alignment, but because she was an anniversary servant, they gave her bonus scaling so that MP5 has a 200% super effective, so full on double damage instead of the normal 150 1.5 extra damage. At the end, she also charges living humans by 20%, and this goes all the way to 40. And because she's AoE the way she is, Um, she kind of works well with like all of these servants. Works pretty well. Even like Bazette here really actually likes Arquid because of the skill seal and the defense down. Like Bazette actually really likes this part. And then like Bazette would have an easier time getting back to her MP because again the battery here. But like it also goes for like any like other servant here. Like probably not Sojiro, unless Sojiro is MPing like turn 2. If Sojiro is MPing turn 2, then Arquid is like butter because it guarantees like no matter what he's going to MP turn 2, right? Because start from 20. After you pop the MP, he'll be at 50, and then another like 20 from Arquid's MP. So he's at 70. So yeah, like even if he's starting from 30, like the event that these two came out of, I was using Sojiro to Buster Farm multi-core style with Tiamat and actually like get the full Buster farm out. He'll get to 200% on his MP, or yeah, 200% charge, and for him that is an extra 10% attack for him. So yeah, Arquid can work well with a lot of these characters, just obviously not all of them, but not many of these characters are gonna say no to free charge. Not many of these characters are gonna say no to a free 50 battery. Bonsi, MP damage up 25% while she's on this battlefield. Technically speaking, this is a little weaker. This is on the weaker side compared, but oh no, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm sorry about that. This is on the weaker side in comparing to self-buffing Bonsi's that are usually at 30%. But Doman also has it where chaotic and evil servants get 15% damage, MP damage each. So this is 25 MP damage for the party, and all Arquid has to do is MP once. And just keep up, like, MP once every 3 turns. But she's giving an almost non-conditional MP damage buff. That also affects herself. So, why is she an A+ and not higher? It mostly has to do with her face cards not really doing much. She's a Buster servant that's gonna get amped by Vitch, and she has actually nothing to help her Buster crits. So even her other cards pretty much only have a card buff, and that's it. So her arts card and her quick cards. Sorry, wait. Arts cards and her quick card, right? Yeah, arts cards and her quick card. They kind of just don't do much. That essentially is the only reason, and I don't feel like you absolutely need her. But time to show her Black Rail damage. So 1 second. This is not going to take long. And even though I probably should be going into the QP, I'm fine over here, because this is just assessing normal damage. Yeah, power mods are also involved here, but she's Buster, so why would I take away from that? But yep, 60,000 turn 1. Yep, almost set up there. Again, 60,000 turn 2. I didn't really do much to up damage. And her damage is actually matching, like, BB. I could have sworn. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Wait. What the fuck? What the fuck were those numbers I was getting earlier? Yeah. As you can see, this like difference is also pretty fucking big. Yeah. Wait. Why is 70, 180, 340? 70, 80, 340. Oh, right. She hit chaotic. Right. Dioscuri's chaotic. Is that why my numbers got inflated when I checked this earlier? That might have been why. But yeah, this is just another reason why I want to make my own list for like damage calc, because I do different things and I just would like to know this stuff off rip. So yeah, MP1 Arquid is matching BB. They are essentially the same. Arquid just has super effective. So yeah, I could have sworn Arquid was doing a little more damage. I think I must have been testing my own Arquid. I think that's what happened. That the numbers I was looking at was my own Arquid at level 100 MP2. This is MP1 level 90. So yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is a case where these two are essentially doing the same damage, and this character just does more things. Even though they both do a lot of things, this one just does more damage in general, or is easier. Sorry, let me say it. Rephrase it. Easier to hit max damage than Arquid, because let's be honest, it is far easier to have a welfare 50% CE than it is to have an MOB Black Rail. I bring up Black Rail damage a lot, but we can't deny, like, usually it's the case that these characters are farther apart. Not this time. Arquid is always going to hit harder if she hits niche than BB. There's absolutely no contest, but Arquid hitting niche all the time is what's going to be the problem. Because I also think evil and good are more common alignments. Chaotic, on the other hand, is, I would assume, less common in enemies. And like random trash mobs, sorry. It's less common in random trash mobs. And you kind of can look at it here. Like, these are not random trash mob enemies on this screen. Like these are pillars, story bosses. This is pillars and story bosses. They're the only enemies that have chaotic and lawful alignments, I believe. Yeah, like enemies, if they have alignments, would be evil or good, or yeah. So it kind of would have been better if she had a different alignment than chaotic, but I'll still take this. Chaotic is still common enough. All right, last two. We have CL and BB Dubai, but also this is not CL from Tsukihime. This is apparently CL from Servantverse. And I think Teach Me CL Senpai, Teach Me Miss CL, apparently. Or it's merged. I still kind of don't know. I haven't read enough. All I see is that she's hungry. She got the extra large. Yep. All right. This character made farming a lot more fun for people. This is one of the first characters in the game where Black Rail is legitimately not her best craft essence, and you would be better off farming with a CE that gave you an attack buff than a massive MP damage buff. Unfortunately, her best CE also doesn't give any actual attack either. It is solely giving attack off its effect. So also if you go past 3 turns, damage falls off even more. 11.6k attack, 14.7k HP, so fairly tanky. And that's the deal with CL. You want her skills to be leveled so that she does not take any damage. And then she does big crit damage because of that. MP charge 0.46%. I almost never have problems with refund for CL. It is click. I know exactly what I'm getting when I click her cards. And for farming, you kind of don't care about these. You just care about this, and you are buster farming. This is a single target that can reliably actually do buster farming. Even against, especially against trash mobs, all you do is load up Vitch and you keep spamming her Buster Brave Chains. There will be a turn where you have to choose between popping your skill or not. If you're doing multi-core and there's a 1 enemy wave, that is a fucking godsend for you because you don't even have to worry about it. You get a free turn to crit however you want after the MP. Yep. So 5 hit on the quick card, good. 4 hit on the arts cards. By the way, this quick card isn't getting that much MP. 4 hits on the buster cards. This is mostly for star gen purposes, and a 6 hit extra attack. Unfortunately, this is on the weaker side, and her attack isn't the highest, but this extra attack will still gen stars, get some gain back, and do some damage. But if you're using her and farming, you're definitely going to want extra attack finesse. Because that will, any little bit of damage you don't kill with, that extra attack, the better it is, the more you clean up and not have to waste a turn. First skill, 10% gauge every turn for 5 turns, heal every turn for 5 turns, debuff resistance for 5 turns, buff removal resistance for 5 turns. The heal is 1,500 a turn, debuff res 50% per turn, buff removal resistance 100%. This has almost a 100% uptime as well. Any kind of cooldown reduction you can fit into your rotation would keep this at 100%, and CL will never lose her buffs as long as this skill is maxed out, and the chance is not more than 100%. Most buff removals are capped at 100% because how many servants are actually applying buff removal resistance of up to 100%? Not that many. And also, if you double stack this, it also means you have 100% debuff resistance and 200% buff removal resistance. I don't think there is anything in the game that comes anywhere close to you actually needing that, but that is just funny. Imagine that because the enemy can't steal your buffs so badly, you actually steal their buffs. That oh my god, that would be so fucking funny. That would be so funny in any kind of gacha game, or not gacha game because that would be OP, but in a turn-based game, that you actually have it an actual Uno reverse. Actual Uno reverse, and you take all their buffs. Because there are boss fights that do have mechanics like that. They steal your buffs, and then they apply it on themselves. Would be kind of funny if a boss did that, and you said nope, and you just take all the buffs back, and you get their buffs too. Moving on, 30% card buff for Arts and Buster. On when you click an Arts card, you put healing down on the enemy and reduce their gauge, along with taking their guts away. Santa Karna could pretty much use a buff if his MP effect is being taken by an Arts card. Unless you're dealing with multiple guts, this is kind of beyond overkill. Although, like, if you are dealing with someone with, like, multiple guts, um, if it's multiple time guts, you're gonna rip that off, and they are going to be shaking in their fucking boots. Like, you know those enemies that have, like, and especially in events, they have, like, 5 guts? Like those kind of fights. The ones that are just, like, by when all your buffs are gone, the enemy still has, like, 2 more guts left, and you're just like, oh my god. Yeah, CL deals with that really well. When you pop a Buster card, 10% battery. Remember, you also would use her with Vitch. So, goes for, it says here 10. In practice, it's more like 30 to 40 for every single Buster crit you do. But unlike Vitch, this applies for even the MP. So when you double stack this, her MP gets an extra 20% on top of what it already has. Last thing, the higher your HP, the more crit you do. If you are at above 50% crit damage, 50% HP, you get 50 crit damage. If you're at max HP, 50% crit damage for a total of 100. This is why keeping her at max HP is so fucking important. Your damage will start dropping, like, if you have a lot of source of crit damage, which you're using her with Vitch, you're already at 300%. If you're at max HP, but you'll also have to heal back from that. That's a different conversation, and that's Mystic Code usage. Yeah, like, CL crits very, very, very hard. Last skill. She redeals the deck, and you're only going to get her cards. And this is also, like, basically a turn. It turns it into, like, basically turn 3. So the next turn, everything's reshuffled. Like, it's a new cycle. 50% battery, 100% defense for 3 attacks, 3 turns, and whenever she takes a hit, she will get 2,000 healing. These two do go hand in hand, though, but 100% defense means that CL can face tank NPs, and she will not take damage as long as they do not have, like, defense pierce on that MP, which is very, very rare for you to have to deal with that. The servants that have defense pierce on the MP, that's what they need to, like, bypass CL. In some cases, this is better than, like, solemn defense or a dodge, because, like, defense pierce is so fucking rare in comparison to invo pierce, especially sure hit. The only thing rare is solemn defense pierce, and only one character in the game has that. But this stops all of them, and if you can get even... again, when you reset, you'll have 6 hits of 100% defense. Just depends on your timing. 20% debuff res, 12% independent action for crit damage, 500 healing per turn, and she is basically like a pretender, or she is treated as like a pretender against sabers, only sabers. So she deals 1.5 damage to them, but she takes 1.0 like a pretender. Kiara has the same thing, and it's for rulers. Yeah, like as if sabers did not need something else to be in fear of. They already have enough from berserkers and MHXX. Now they also have to deal with CL. Pens, this is what you care about. For really letting her farm and go wild. Like, you'll be able to double pop these two on turn 2, which does, like, increase how much gain she gets back. But extra attack can't be bad if you're going to be doing Brave Chains pretty much every single turn. Not a bad idea to make them better and just do more damage. Especially if you're just doing Buster Brave Chains, then you're really going to want to up the damage on it. Because Star Gen, MB gain, not going to be doing anything in a Buster Brave Chain. Damage is definitely going to be there, though. And because you can choose your own cards, if you want to be doing Mighty Chains, you can. There's nothing saying you have to do Buster Brave Chains. It's just that Buster Brave Chains will kill the most things. Like, you're taking advantage of your the extremely high crit potential here. And Alter Ego, again, if you want to do this, you can, but I would go for something else. But if you want to just swap to it when you're fighting an Alter Ego, go for it. Yeah, like this append specifically just feels way better now that serving coins are swappable. Like, you're only going to have this on if you're fighting the enemy. Otherwise, even if you have 4 appends, like, you're going to put it on this, not this, most of the time. So, here we are. The reason for the Christmas event. She kept shooting Neko arcs at people. I don't usually show it, but no. Oh, come on. Where's the Neko arc? Yes, there we go. This is the reason for the raid event. She kept doing this. We kept doing this, and this is why we have a raid event. So yes, blame CL for why you had no time to do the raid. Everything is CL's fault on this side. At least that's my interpretation of it. If you actually read the raid event and you know what actually happened, feel free to laugh at me being a dumbass. But in my headcanon for the next 2 years, in my head it's CL we kept the. Not even CL. Us, the player base, kept spamming Neko arcs at random fucking level 1 foot grunts, and then she got mad and wanted to become a raid boss. Again, until I read what actually happened, that is my headcanon. I'm sticking with it. So, 12 hit single target Buster MP. Regardless if she has a star gen buff or not, this is still gonna make a lot of stars for her. For a Buster MP. Super effective against demonic enemies, 100% chance to insta-kill, 20 battery on MP, and increases her MP damage, scales with overcharge. CL is who I was using for insta-kill farm before I switched to Shufu. Am I a little upset about that? Yeah, because I could have used CL in the raid. I'm not angry. She is Bond 3, MP3, so she has her 3 appends already. If I want to take her to 120 eventually, I can. But yeah, basically, you use this MP to kill the high, so you start. Okay, so let me explain how CL farming works first before I really work into this. Your first Buster card is going to crit the lowest health enemy. You're gonna kill it. Then you're gonna MP the biggest health enemy, you're gonna kill it. Then you're gonna have one more trash add. You're gonna use your other Buster card. You're gonna kill it, and if you don't kill it, extra attack. And then you just repeat that. You use Vitch cooldowns to reset that, and you just keep repeating. Because she gets so much charge back, it really isn't that hard. Like, we're talking when she has this double stacked, she will have 60% per turn, because the MP gives you 40, 20 here, 40 here, and then you get the passive charge per turn, and this is already double stacked, so you will be getting 20 per turn. She is a Buster unit that, when you use her with Vitch, has very little problem. She has refund that honestly would make quick servants jealous. How crazy of that is to say that CL has better Buster refund on her MP than AoE quick servants do, fighting 3 enemies. That shit is wild. Bond CE, 30% MP damage, 5 gauge per turn, 500 healing per turn. So, most people, like I explained with Summer BB, can use her as a support to guarantee that your DPS gets all their cards for their crit farming, and then use BB to lock down the cards. I don't want to explain more about this. This mechanic, just they go together, peanut butter and jelly, which is part of the reason BB is up here. She is really up here for CL, not just her mechanic, because there is a lot of RNG tied to using BB normally. CL completely eliminates that RNG, and you can literally pick whatever Brave Chain you want for 3 turns. Yes, you have to give up a support. That is truly unfortunate, and if anyone dies, it's broken, and now your setup is a mess. But if you have the damage to do it, go ahead and do it. It is definitely fun. Like, doing crit farming using these two is really, really fun. And for weird nodes, like the first 90 star we got, the one with Helena in the India node with 2/2/1 Berserker caster. It's really, really, really easy to do that by incorporating CL. CL trivializes that fight and makes it so even your quick units can have like a lot of fun, because now especially a quick rider has literally everything they need to be able to keep refunding their MP, because they're going to kill with the MP, and then they have 2 cards and an extra attack to try to get as close to their MP or wherever they need to be as possible. So you could either spend that jetting stars or more MP if you have less batteries. Considering you're only going to have access to 1 ruler Scotty at most, you're probably going to want to be holding on to whatever you can in that instance or instance like it. But yeah, that's CL. All right, last thing, and then we are done. I'm gonna take a break from streaming. Gonna go to my parents' house, get the check for my apartment, and then get lunch too. Relax, come back. We're streaming Persona 3 Reload for probably the rest of the night. Might do like Honkai or FGO stuff before I start Persona, but there isn't going to be another YouTube stream today. All right, chat, honestly, I had actually forgotten if I actually went live on YouTube, and it wouldn't have been upset because I am recording this, but I would have been mad because I was streaming without streaming, and I keep doing that. All right, BB Dubai. She, I think, is a BB from another timeline. Or it was another Kiara situation where they observed BB and then made a copy of BB and shit went south. Again, I have not read OC3. That is just what I pick up from people talking about it. The only thing I really cared about was that this is our BB, and that this one says this BB is full of shit. Oh wait, where is that? Yeah, hold up. Let me show that. Let me actually show that, because I know it's not gonna take me that long. BB Summer. She reset her growth skill tree, took an evil god design, and was taken over by an evil god. Is that an A? Did she really get taken over? Seems like she pretended to take it over to do as she pleases. Ah, I see. So there was that option too. Oh no, I can't control myself. I'm sorry for anything I'm gonna do. Proceeds to punch everyone in the dick. It says, "I'm so sorry, guys. I wish I didn't punch you in the I'm so sorry, guys. I wish I didn't punch you in the balls, but I had to." That is essentially what she's saying. I'm sorry, senpai, I almost killed you. I couldn't control myself. It was the evil god's fault. BB Dubai. This character, support, and one of the best, like literally one of the best supporting NPs in the game. To the point they had to make it so you could not start in the supportive MP. Otherwise, she just would have been too good. Really would have been nice if you could start when you're in this ascension, but because this is her golden garment. But it is what it is. Maybe that's a buff. Maybe that's a buff they do in the future. I don't know how they're gonna do that though. They like that's them having to rework and add something for the ascension. Like essentially do something similar to like Alco or Melicin. Something similar to Melicin or Ptolemaeus. So not outside of the realm of possibility of them doing it, but also not likely. Base attack 10.75k. BB herself as the DPS is very possible. She can do good damage, but for me, she's definitely more of a support. But again, like it's a support that can do slight farming, just like not Summer Casuaria, Summer Scotty, Koyanskaya of Dark, Koyanskaya of Light, Oberon. All these supports lately have been having damage dealing MP. Cause her drop too. Yeah, so HP, very tanky. She has big protection here. She does indeed have big protection against damage. Traits to notice. Again, Sakura series for Cosser drop in summer mode, but that's pretty common. Animal characteristics in third ascension, bunny servant in third ascension as well. Two different traits. Yeah, are you gonna use Talok with BB? Maybe, but probably not likely. First skill, AoE 20% arts buff, AoE 20 battery. For some servants, this is the entire this is the skill they have, or this is what Lasagna decided to add to their skill. But she also adds this preservation target buff. This is so her MP will actually give a battery to other people on her team if you use her supportive MP. In addition, Moon Cancers, living humans get a MP damage and MP gain buff 30%. So yes, you would probably be using BB Dubai with Talok because BB Dubai actually specifically buffs Talok or Tenochtitlan Moon Cancer. It really is. It's not just living humans, even though I bring up living humans getting buffed by this a lot more. So let's also bring up the living humans that get buffed by this. She is supporting arts farming, Tezcatlipoca, Luvia, Muramasa, Chloe. I guess probably not priority on that. Summer Iris. Summer Iris gets fully buffed by Scotty. I mean, not Scotty. BB. Bazette works because of the MP damage BB Dubai can give. BB Dubai can give a lot of damage to Bazette, so you can't use Oberon with Bazette. But if you really want the MP damage, BB Dubai is gonna give it to you. So yeah, that's neat synergy, and also BB Dubai is gonna provide a very solid shield for Bazette because she really only has her dodge. But Jinako, but you're still not farming with her even with this. The less I have to say about Tezcatlipoca, the better. And then we have these two supports right here. But that it's less for them at all. Like I wouldn't even consider Waver and Reigns here. Not with BB Dubai. With like Arquid maybe, but not with BB Dubai. Second skill, all enemy buff strip reduces their attack by 100% for 1 turn. Arch res down for 3 turns, 20%. Then you put the non-preservation target debuff. This is just so you do more damage under damage NP. In addition, Star Gen, crit damage of all living human and moon cancers. So, again, like Talok, extremely niche. Basically, your third support, probably instead of Oberon, is going to be BB, especially because BB is going to help protect Talok or Tenochtitlan. Because she's going to be getting hit a lot. BB Dubai's shield is going to like save her from getting too low before you want her to get low. If you want Talok to get low. But yeah, 100% attack down for 1 turn. This literally makes it so unless the enemy has an attack buff, they are going to do 0 damage. It is the same as having 100% defense up. This is essentially the same thing. The enemy just is not going to do damage to you. So you can do this right in front of an MP, and everyone just face tanks it, and then you heal back if there was any kind of buff going on that would have like let that thing do damage. Yeah, but she is just super solid. The Star Gen is 100%. So she is specifically like a caster Gil for moon cancers and living humans while also giving even... Yeah, no. Only thing you're missing that caster Gil would give is... Isn't it like 10% arts and then an attack buff? A 20% attack buff? Yeah, you're like trading like 10 arts and 10 crit damage and 10 attack for these effects. Like Caster Gil, like his kit is these 2 skills, like, and parts of them too, and then with a lot of extra stuff. Caster Gil is a very well-known art support. Or art sub DPS that helps enable art servants to actually crit. So BB Dubai being able to do that for her niche and not even just living humans, like a full class. So more character, like these are just more characters that are going to be in the game in the future. Like it's not. They didn't pick something that like was always going to be set in stone. Like if she only busts servants that related to Fate Extra, that is such a small thing because all they have to do is not release any more characters from Fate Extra, and the skill doesn't get better. They're going to constantly add more living humans to the game. It's a fact. They're gonna make new properties, and they're gonna want to put them in the FGO. That just makes sense. So BB Dubai, if you want to think about her for like long-term investments like that, she does do a lot for moon cancer and living humans. I'm not saying she's a must summon if you have these characters, but she is a character that is gonna just like age very well. Third skill cooldown reduction by 1, 50% battery, and then she changes her MP from offensive to defensive. Debuff success rate up 6%. Magic resist EX 25%. Future management, crit attack chance resistance, and passive star weight of 20%. So her star weight is essentially 60, not 500. But that's not a huge difference. If this was on a rider, that'd be very different because that's another 40 and brings that rider from 200 to 240. Not as dramatic, but star weight is star weight. If you have to fight less for stars, you fight less for stars. But here are some passives. If you're fighting someone that is evil alignment, has anti-good, Kiara, or non-servant, 10% attack buff. So this is a free farming buff if you want to use her for farming. It's literally why her base attack is as low as it is. Because essentially, this is like 11.8k base attack. It's just 20% attack comes from here. And again, you don't want that in terms of like scaling up things, but this is such a small thing. It's not something that's going to matter that much. Would it be better if like they just made this passive and just put it here? Yes, but again, she's not always going to have this. It's just she's going to have this a lot. Other passive, lawful alignment, anti-evil, or servant, she has 20% defense. High HP, very like tanky survivability MP, and then just also has a passive defense. Cherry on top, she also has another 25 magic resist, so she's at 50. Her passives are like, they are so generically good, but they're like, yeah, no, they are so generic, but they're so also so generically fucking good. And I don't mean generic as in a lot of servants have it. I mean generic as in these two in particular are going to come into play more times than they're not going to come into play. If you're taking hits, most of the hits you're going to take is going to be from a servant. If you're dealing damage and farming, most of the enemies you fight are not servants. Just my thought process on that. For farming, you want this. In general, you do want this. And everything else kind of doesn't matter. Anti-moon cancer, I do think there are a couple moon cancers that have that are either sky or star, so that kind of does make sense why she has this. So her damaging MP, power mod to sky, power mod to star. Star attribute power mod is the one of the rarest buffs in the entire game. She is the only character in the entire game that has something to do that actually does some extra damage to star. Gilles de Rais is the only servant in the game that buffs specifically star attribute. But this attribute is so goddamn rare. Wait. Tiamat is star, not beast? Huh. Also, Arcwood. Oh, no, Arcwood is here in star. It would have been weird. It would have been really, really weird if Arcwood was sky and not star. But, yeah. Damage to all enemies, 5-hit arts. Arts for his down after damage. And super effective scaling with overcharge if they have the non-preservation target. So you use the second skill. This super effective, lasts for 3 turns, so the better skill cooldown BB has, the more damage she just does in general. Definitely with Tomo, you will have 100% uptime. Because BB's own kit has cooldown reduction in it. Yeah, if you have BB as the main DPS, it is not hard to like be double stacking all of your shit with BB. Tomo will keep her topped up like fairly easily. Unfortunately, like BB Dubai is not going to be buffing her supports to be making herself hit harder. Besides getting another BB Dubai, and you're gonna have to question yourself: are you gonna do double BB Dubai or double Castoria? You're probably gonna choose double Castoria over another BB Dubai. Let's just be honest. So, for other MP, the supportive MP, party-wide invul for a turn, party-wide debuff immunity for 1 turn, MP damage for 3 turns, base 30, scales up to 50, and extra battery, scaling with overcharge if you have the preservation target, so from the first skill, and 30% battery is the base, up to 50. Bonsi, power mod against non-preservation target, MP gain for preservation target allies while she's on the field. She does not get the benefit from the MP gain, though, because she also doesn't get this. So the way this is phrased is if you have 2 BB Dubais and both of them have this on them, each will only get 20% because they can't get it from themselves. but they can get it from the other BB Dubai. And again, that is, yeah, no, it really depends. 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to do double BB Dubai. 9 times out of 10, you're probably not. But in the cases you are, try to have fun with it. Yeah, like, I didn't mention her MB gain that much here, but yeah, like, she can do it because she has the big battery, but I probably wouldn't be trying to brute force it. I would be doing multi-core with BB Dubai, not solo core. And yeah, that is why I put these 3 here and these 2 here. Very long-winded. It took me like fucking an hour to get back to this point. But yeah, holy shit. This list, it felt like it took too long. I don't like these extra class. I just wanted to talk more about them. But yeah, in general, I think they're fairly good. I do kind of want to move things around though, because I kind of don't like how things are the way they are. I think it's like, yeah, okay. So like, I really don't want to bring people down though. I don't like how this looks, how there's so many good extra class, but there are a lot of good extra class. Like, I'm second guessing it, and like, there are like, I don't know. This is gonna be my tentative list. Hopefully by the time I do the tier list again, I have my actual spreadsheet done with like everyone's like farming methods like down pat, like, and with all the numbers. They're super effective and everything. Because that will just make my life easier. For me, like, some of this stuff, I do not have enough damage, like, examples, and or I don't know the character enough to speak from like pure experience. But anyone here like not functional? Like, if we were like, definitely if we were talking about looping, this list would be very different, but we're not talking about looping. Most extra class excel in fighting whoever. So for this list, I really don't like how top heavy it is. But I did have a feeling that niche was going to be bigger on this list than it has been for other lists. So this is it. I'm gonna call it here for stream and the recording. I really just wanna relax the rest of the day. Yeah. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. And hope you enjoyed this list. Extra class 2 probably is gonna be split up same way. Okay, chat. I am probably going like right now. Didn't really say it, but this is also, this is not leaker stuff. Not doing any leakers for this yet. But next video I do is gonna be talking about the new relic system, and I'm using this as the example. Whether or not I know more about what's happening in the relic farms, I'm not allowed to say, but I will promise that for this video that I make, it will only be used with stuff that is fully available to everything, and also on like the wikis, the official wikis for these games, not other websites. I'm taking anything I mention is going to be from here. This is to protect my ass, and I'm not all to protect my ass. All right, I will see you guys later. Peace.